Jaylen, you're usually a first quarter guy, kind of set the tone kind of guy. Today, second and fourth quarters were really big for you. What did you see in this game that kind of shifted that and kind of had you contribute at a little bit of a different time than usual?
I'm just a basketball player. I'm a do whatever our team needs kind of guy. Like first quarter, fourth quarter, don't matter. I just take advantage of the opportunities that I get, make the right reads, and I get in the rhythm at any point in the game. It can just add to success.
I saw you in one of the pick and rolls. I think you hit Sam for a layup. You did a really good job of like drawing the double team out and making the pass out of that. Seems to be a bit of a progression for you as a pick and roll ball handler. What's gone into you kind of like learning to handle those double teams better and making those passes out of that?
I just think experience and trust. A lot of times like you've been in that position before. You might make a mistake. It might not go back to you. Now I've been able to earn the trust of my teammates and my coaching staff that I made the right play enough times this year that, if I make a mistake, we'll still put the ball back in my hands. And that's a part of, instilling confidence. I played multiple positions in multiple roles, and on this team I've been more of a playmaker in a sense, not just as passing, but screening, cutting, and less of a scorer, and just being a basketball player. So it's added to my game, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Joe said he thinks you guys are really starting to play Celtic basketball. What type of team do you want this to be? What type of traits do you want this team to build throughout the regular season?
I think we got to set the tone on defense first and foremost. We got to continue to lay that as the groundwork and the foundation for success. And I think we got the opportunity and the potential to be really great on that end. I think all of our guys are striving to be, all defense type of guys, and I want to be the head of that snake. I want to continue to push myself, but also push our teammates. Then I think playing with a pace. I think a lot of times where we get in trouble is when we walk the ball up, we play slow, allow teams to load up. I like the version of us when we're getting up and down, we're making the right reads, but we playing with a little bit more pace. And I think those two, is going to lead us in the right direction. But also taking care of the basketball is important, keeping our turnovers down. You know what I mean, and not fouling. And I think that contributes to Celtic basketball.
You called it the biggest game of the season a couple of days ago when you beat these guys. 2 games later against the same team, how important was it to kind of let them know again that things didn't change from the other day, that you guys are still going to be there and be physical and compete?
Exactly like you said, we can't skip no steps. Certain teams got our number. And Orlando's been one of those teams in the last year and a half, and we wanted to make sure in this stint that we kind of set a tone and get over that hump, and I think we did a good job. I think we could have played better in spots, certainly, but it was a good test, back to back. Then coming into an early game, we take the right mentality and we come out on top, and I like that.
Jaylen, you call yourself, you've been saying just being a basketball player. Do you see yourself as a more complete basketball player now than you've been? And if you were to if you could maybe put it on a scale, like if it's a 0 to 100, how close to fully complete do you think you are?
I feel like, it's all about the role that you and opportunities that you're given. So I've done what I've needed to do in the roles that I've been positioned in. Different times I needed to be more of a scorer, needed to be more of an aggressor type of player. On this team, it's just a lot clearer that, I don't need to score 30 points a game. That'd be great, but we got a lot of guys that can put the ball in the cup that are playing well. So making sure I make the right plays and my reads has helped me see the game a lot differently than before, where I've been asked to score the ball, right? So I think it's for sure has made me a better basketball player, but also my role is a little different than it's been over the years as well.
Jaylen, when you guys are playing at that pace and the threes are popping and the crowd's going, can you feel how demoralizing that can be for a team that they're facing you guys?
Yeah, when we shoot the ball well, it's tough, and I think a part of us winning games is learning how to play well when we don't shoot the ball particularly well from 3. And I think a lot of our, some of our losses this year came in those moments. So, like when we shoot the ball well, we're tough to beat. But when we don't shoot the ball well from three, how can we still be effective? And I think JT has done a great job of finding his game in the post. I found, been able to find that. Those are two things that we're able to get to against teams when the three ball is not falling, and I think that can help contribute to winning.
Back in the summer, Marcus leaves, Grant leaves. Two guys that were kind of from the outside looked like really big part of the culture and leadership system you guys had here. And just now when Kristaps was asked about the culture, he mentioned you and how you've set the tone, talking about not letting laziness creep in with all the talent you have. So how have you tried to assume that leadership even more this year, and what do you think is working about being consistent for you guys?
Just by being the example on both ends of the ball. I think that's one of the strongest forms of leadership, but also being a little bit more vocal, not skipping those steps. Every single game, trying to come out, put the best foot forward, trying to put our team in a position to win, being unselfish on both ends of the floor, sacrificing your body, but also taking on whatever matchup and respecting your opponent. All of that stuff goes into leadership, and those guys that we had last year were great. And this, gave us an opportunity for me and JT to step up in those opportunities and be more of leaders, and I've embraced that role for sure. So we still got a lot of work to do. I don't think we are at our final form or playing our best, but we're starting to move in the right direction, and we got to just keep growing and rolling with the punches.
Then you're about to head to Golden State. Last year, you guys were pretty much on fire. Then they beat you with physicality on defense again, and you guys never really kind of found that same consistency after that. So how do you feel going into that same match around the same time of year about how you guys can handle whatever comes next? Another
big challenge, back-to-back here at home, into an early game, into a across the country, back-to-back is tough. Scheduling is tough, but we're not going to make no excuses. It should be a good challenge for us. Can't skip no steps, and we got to come out and compete every single night.
Last question, Gary. Jaylen, all those shots you hit tonight, you work hard on. You take thousands, a day, hundreds a day. What's it like when all those shots are going down and you're kind of hitting that Jordan moment? Like, what's that like? That people can't describe when you hit that shot in front of the Orlando bench and you kind of, the three, they call timeout. What's that feeling like?
That feels great. I feel like if I hit one or two, I can get it going. I'm just that type of player, but my three ball hasn't been dropping as much as I would have liked it to this year. So it was good to see some of those threes go down, but when they don't go down, I'm always going to get to the basket, get to my spots, get to my range, because I know, those are the spots that I can always be successful in.
What's that feeling like? Is it just a high, a peak when those shots are all going down? Everything you've worked on seems for this day to be working.
Yeah, for sure. When my three ball is going in, I don't think there's anything anybody can do. I'm gonna be aggressive downhill. Getting to the basket, which everybody knows I want to do. So, when that three ball is going in at a high clip, it makes it tough.
Presented by your New England Ford dealers. Built for America. Built Ford proud.